There has been a question whether Fox News lies to the public. While I can't speak on the national debate about this, in one instance, on a local level, it can be said charitably, the local Phoenix station misrepresented the appearance of Reverend Jackson, lending support to the Occupy Phoenix movement. Here are some excerpts from a live broadcast on November 1st, 2011, of Reverend Jackson's appearance from the perspective of the local Fox News website.
But this rain also kind of put a damper on the Occupy Phoenix movement. That's because earlier today, they were going to have a huge protest in downtown Phoenix. Take a look at some video of the dozens and dozens of Phoenix police officers that were on hand out there at the Freeport McMoran building. That is the headquarters of an international gold and copper mining company that was to be the target today of Occupy Phoenix. They were expecting possibly hundreds of people to show up and protest in front of that company's headquarters. Instead, we counted less than a handful, maybe 3 or 4 people out there. Now, once the rain kind of let up, this group was joined by a pretty high-profile person. The Reverend Jesse Jackson was in town for another event, but he decided to show up and start marching with the group. They then marched from Caesar Memorial Plaza here over to the Freeport McMoran building.
The reporter broadcasting live from the Occupy Phoenix encampment was not telling the truth. I was there reporting for my website Chaotic Fringe. If you look at the Chiron timestamp, you will see the time is 5:03 on the local Fox News broadcast. The reason why the camp was empty was because the majority of the people, over 200, were already marching to the building. As you can see from my footage, this is a rather large crowd, not the handful of people the reporter mentioned, heading towards the building. The reporter said,
"We counted less than a handful, maybe 3 or 4 people out there."
But the reason there were few at the building was Fox News went to the building before the marchers had arrived. I could be charitable and say the reporter could have been sloppy and got to Occupy the Phoenix site late, and didn't know the protesters had left. Unfortunately, I can't, because the reporter was across the street 30 minutes before Reverend Jackson's arrival, so he knew the size of the crowd and what time the crowd left. While I didn't think to get footage of the reporter setting up across the street, when Reverend Jackson talked to the crowd before the march, you can see in my videotape the Fox News 10 microphone flag in camera and Reverend Jackson talking to the Fox News camera. It's rather shameful on a simple story. The local Fox affiliate felt the need to distort what actually occurred at the Reverend Jackson and Occupy Phoenix event.